Hello everyone, myself Zhang Anki, and today I'm going to speak about the title Poverty and Income Gaps Lead to Unequal Educational Opportunity in Malaysia. So imagine two kids in Malaysia, and one of them grows in a big city with a good school, extra classes, and every opportunity we can think of, while the other one grows in a poor village in rundown classrooms with no internet and even have to skip schools to earn money. Who do you think has a better future? This is the reality in inequality in education and income in Malaysia. Although Malaysia has developed drastically over the decades in terms of economic development as well as in education, not everyone has the same chance to learn or escape poverty. This creates a significant disparity between the wealthy and the impoverished. And in today's report, we will be discussing about why this happens and what are the measures taken by the government, and most importantly, how we can fix this.
So hi, my name is Amizan. So my part is I'm going to explain in detail about poverty and income gaps lead to the unequal education opportunity in Malaysia. So as we can see, this title is all about how the education opportunities in Malaysia happen is actually not equal. So as we can see, in Malaysia we have categorized, our government has categorize it for the household income. So there is three categories, which is B40, M40 and T20. So the M40 means for the person or for the family which has a household income not above than 5,000, and for the M40 is the person who household in Malaysia which their income is not above 7,000, and T20 is a person household income of the family is not above than 12,000. So as we can see, this poverty and income gaps which can lead to unequal education most likely is happen to the B40. It's in fact to the B40 family household. So because their income is not high enough, I mean like only 5,000 and below of the income, so it might be hard for them to support or to spend in education for the kind of institutions. So if you guys can see, this is the actually statistic which I took it from the implementation coordinations unit. In short, we call it as ICU. So in Malaysia, there is 3 states that has which we call it as poverty, which means in these 3 states they will have a kind of not they never get the best education in this state. So the 3 states is Sabah, Sarawak and Kelantan. So next, this is the bar graph. As you can see, when the high education fee is very expensive, so most likely students who after they are done their SPM, maybe they're not gonna continue for the IPT studies. So we can see here, like for in 2020, only 35.60% students continue their studies, and for 2021, it's increased to 48.74% of students who continue their studies after SPM, and it's become more increase in 2022. Actually, 2022 is the final report updated according to our government. So we need to wait until 5 years, and there will be another updated information about this graph. So in 2020, it increased to, you can see here, 72.1%. So it is in fact to our student and also to our institutions. So government need to do something in order to maintain this, to avoid this kind of graph. I mean, like you guys don't want to make sure you guys don't want to make this issue continuous in the future. So I would like to call for the next present.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Ilmah Hanif. I will be presenting about the perspective on family and individual. So, money strongly influences the quality of education the students receive. Wealthier families can afford tuition, extra books, and activities that support underfunded state schools facing extra costs on uniform and transport. This financial pressure causes many students, especially in poor rural areas, to perform poorly or drop out. Parents with low incomes usually have less time to support their children's studies, reducing school engagement. In Malaysia, about 70% of people believe that income inequality is high and needed more government involvement. Rural schools get less funding than urban ones, leading to fewer teachers and poor facilities, which then it hurts the performance of students. Education is linked with jobs opportunities, so a family's socio-economic status affects a child's success. Many believe that equal education access requires more government investment. Moreover, Malaysia's education struggles with outdated curricula and skills that do not match job market needs, limiting their opportunities. Removing race-based university quotas has reduced some ethnic mobility issues. Slowing social mobility and increasing inequality, while high tuition and living costs also cause many poor students to drop out. The government has introduced programs to support low-income students and improve education, but budget limits keep the disparities alive. Alright, that's all from me.
Okay. My name is Kesunathan, so I'll be conducting the government and policy perspective. Based on government point of view education, the government strongly believes that education is the foundation for national growth. Our Prime Minister and other leaders have consistently shown this by prioritizing budget for education. They don't just see it's a cost, but as an investment that helps prepare young people for the future. Also, they face some challenges, which is the government still struggle to make sure the education system keep up with the job market demand. There also an issue of giving equal access to all communities, especially rural and disadvantaged one. On top of that, some people misuse government subsidies or don't even know how to apply for the support. Also, the strength and resources are still the government has lot of tools or resources to improve education. They have set up policies given financial support like cash aid and fuel subsidies that launch many education related programs. The Minister of Education also play a big role in planning and upgrading the system. Following with the impact, if they haven't solved the education problem, if the student from poorer or families or the rural area may continue in miss or out and quality education when app doesn't reach those who truly need it, in increased inequalities. Also, the hope for the future. Looking ahead, the government hope to do better. They plan to improve how support is given, making sure it reaches the right student with smarter planning and better budgeting. They want to build an education system that more fair, inclusive, and ready for future challenges.
So now I would like to explain about what is the comparison from both point of view. So from us, we are actually about our perspective is more to insufficient family finance, and also student actually as a student we actually need a support from families and also some help from governments. So next, we are actually interested in immediate work or gig economies. We are work while studies to get a finance. So next is the way of our perspective is lack of guidance and education's information. So when we can't afford the best education, and or we call it as a very good education, we are not being able to get the best. I mean, like how we get the correct or penat aku. So after just now we already listen to the family on family and individual perspective and also government perspective. Now I would like to explain about what is the comparison from both perspective. So as a family or as a student individual perspective, we are mostly insufficient family finance issues. So which is family unable to support us to further our studies. And also next issue is students actually need help from families, but if the family itself cannot support it, so we as a student are unable to pay for the tuition fees or any kind other than the tuition fees like transportations and also food. So it will be hard and difficult at that point. So next is governments and policy perspective. So for the government side, it's mostly like to the way they are trying to do is actually to solve these issues. So how the actually government want to solve this actual issue is by the government actually provide various pathway, like they are offering IPTA and also TVET. So next also actually government also has provide a scholarship for us. So if we learn if we study well, so maybe government gonna support us maybe 50-80% if we do the best. So next is government also help us in developing skills and workforce. So maybe we are unable to further our study in business or maybe like doctors, but government also has offered us to sharpen our skill or learn in a skilled workforce, so we can use it as in future if we want to work at somewhere else. So next is policies need more adaptation and improvement. So what government do is they try to help us. They're gonna improve every year by supporting all these students who can afford for the tuition fees or for the higher education. So after next we're gonna find the solution recommendation for the future outcome. So I would like to call out next presenter.
Hello, Madam Nara. My name is Muhammad Daniel Darwish Zulkifli. Today I'll be sharing the recommendation for how we can reduce unequal educational opportunities caused by poverty and income gaps in Malaysia. First, we propose expanding targeted financial support for students in the B40 group. This means increasing access to programs like supplementary food assistance, and early schooling assistance. These programs help provide daily meals and school essentials for students who need them the most. According to the Ministry of Education's official report, RMT, which is Rancangan Makanan Tambahan, has improved students' official report. RMT has also improved students' concentration in school attendance, especially in low-income communities. Now, who can take action? The Ministry of Education should lead the effort by expanding and monitoring these programs. Also, the Ministry of Finance also needs to allocate the sufficient budget, and local education departments must ensure smooth delivery at the ground level. NGOs and private sectors can also play a part through donations, tutoring programs, or digital tools for students. In the short term, we recommend improving the RMT food quality and expanding its coverage. At the same time, financial aid for schooling should be increased to match real expenses. Free digital devices and internet access should be provided to the students in need, especially in rural or orang asli areas. UNICEF Malaysia reported that many poor children miss school simply because they have no money for food or transportation. And for the long term, we suggest adopting a need-based funding model where schools in poorer areas receive more support, more teachers, better facilities, and extra learning assistance. We also recommend setting up community learning hubs and introducing a conditional cash transfer program. This kind of system has worked in countries like Brazil, where families receive financial help if their children stay in school. According to the World Bank, Brazil's program helped lift over 36 million people out of poverty. Well, these recommendations are not just ideas, they're backed by real data and proven strategies. If we take the right steps, we can close the education gap and give every student in Malaysia a fair chance to succeed, no matter their background. That's all from me. Thank you.
So for my part, I'll be talking about conclusion of our report. My name is Ahmad Aidid, and I'll be summarizing everything we've discussed. To begin, what we can see is that students from lower income families really do face more challenges in getting a quality education compared to those from wealthier families. This income gap creates an unfair situation where not all students have the same opportunities to succeed. Because of that, reducing the income gap is crucial if we want to give every student a fair and equal chance. But we also have to remember parents can't rely fully on the government. As individuals, especially as parents, it is important to be smart in saving and spending wisely so that the money saved can help fund future education. That said, the government also plays a big role. They need to pay attention to those who struggle to afford education, especially since the cost can be very high. The government must take responsibility by providing better initiatives to support these families and make education more accessible. Based on the report, it's clear that poverty and income inequality are the main causes of unfair access to education in Malaysia. Students from the B40 group face more obstacles like difficulty paying school fees, lack of learning tools, and limited access to quality schools, unlike those from T20 families who have more resources and opportunities. In conclusion, economic inequality directly affects students' education outcomes. If we don't fix this, it will keep the cycle of poverty going. But if both the government and society work together, with proper planning and support, we can build a more fair and inclusive education system where every child gets the chance they deserve. Thank you.